Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Outer Wilds. So that was something, huh? That last thing that happened. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days, trying to figure out what the implications might be of us now having access to additional... Well, hold on. Okay, there's a couple of problems here. So I was about to say us having access to additional warp cores. We're going to plug into the computer for a moment while I talk. I think that there's a little bit of confusion possible there from the fact that the game calls the white and black hole bits that we saw in the high energy lab warp cores, and it also calls the thing that drives the vessel a warp core, but they're very clearly totally different things, right? The shape of the warp core from the vessel sort of suggests that maybe you could plug in like a white hole core thing to one end of it and a black hole core thing to the other. But I don't think that is actually how that works, right? Because my impression, based on the Nomai stuff that we've read so far, is that the Nomai didn't know about the black hole, white hole thing when they arrived in this solar system, right? The vessel has had whatever warp capability it has had for a long time. They get here, the vessel breaks down, and then while working on Brittle Hollow, they discover the black hole, white hole relationship, and then they start to use that for stuff. They make the transportation towers, but it seems like they had to figure that out once they got here. So whatever mechanism it is that drives the vessel is different, and also, even if we were going to try to make the vessel warp via a black hole, white hole relationship thing, one of the two holes has to be at the destination already, right? Like, that couldn't be how the ship works, because you would never be able to take it to any place that hasn't already been. So I don't think, and also this is bolstered somewhat by the fact that it would be really clumsy in the game mechanics to get the two hull cores into the vessel. I don't think that's what we got to do. I'm not 100% sure what it is that we do have to do, but I don't think that's it. So things we can move forward on. Number one, the quantum moon. We still haven't managed to work out the whole quantum moon thing. I have some thoughts on that. I've been considering. I've been cogitating on it. Number two, we still don't know how to get into the Ash Twin project, and it seems to me like we're supposed to. I think we're supposed to, so it might bear some more exploration down on Ash Twin. And number three, and this is what we're going to do first, the Nomai mines on Timberhearth are the only thing in the rumor mode of the computer that is still marked with the "there's more to explore here" asterisk. So we're going to start with this. Unfortunately, I don't remember where these are, but we found them pretty quickly the first time. I can't imagine. Timberhearth's just not that big of a place. So, how do I find in map mode? That doesn't help me. I know that they're on Timberhearth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we would, I guess let's just fly around a little bit, right? We have, oh, wait a second. Okay, interesting. There's a mark location on HUD option that is not available if you're looking at the text of the entry. Huh. That seems like an oversight. That mark location on HUD thing should probably still be visible. Okay, well that's useful. I haven't been doing that at all. I probably could have saved us some time. But is it gonna mark the chamber or I'm not sure if it's going to mark the chamber or the access to the chamber, because I do not, like I said, I don't remember how we got there. It was deep underground. We could just fall into a geyser. Let's follow the marker on the HUD first. Yeah, it might be the case that we fell into a geyser to get there. Well, here's some geysers. Here's the big geyser. Yeah, okay. I guess we'll start here. Actually, this might be a landing camera kind of situation. Yeah, you know what? I like it better when you can't see what a bad job I do of actually making contact. We should probably have our suit on. Okay, we definitely found one of these doors pretty early on. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. And actually, this looks like exactly... It looks like we did it exactly right. Okay. So there's something left to explore here. When we first were here, we knew very, very little about what's going on in the solar system. We know a tremendous amount more now, so I'm hopeful that we can work out what it was we missed here pretty quickly. And you know, in here, actually, there's an Ash Twin projection stone in here, isn't there? We might want to... Yeah. Let's drop it in the projection pit and have a look around here. I know, we've seen the inside of this chamber a bunch of times, but I'm just wondering, like, there's got to be some kind of clue as to how it is accessed, right? And I really wish it was not so dark in there. Okay, well, actually, there's definitely... I can't quite see that. There's definitely something lit up in the corner of the room. Or corner, I guess, on one of the walls. Where was that? Oh, no, I don't see it anymore. Yeah, there's some orange. Alright, we can't... If we walk out of the pit, we lose vision. I mean, I don't know. It's just my lighting, I guess. It probably the room doesn't actually look like this when you're inside of it. And yeah, see, what I initially took to be stars, this is definitely just the ore that was mined from this chamber, right? Alright. My working theory here is that... Oh, you know what? Did I ever put the projection stone in here? Did we read the text associated with this? I wonder if this is the thing we're missing. There's no obvious entrance. My working theory is that we have to teleport in there somehow. There's probably there's a teleport tower on Ash Twin that I just didn't operate or something. My gratitude for the latest shipment. This ore should be the last we'll need for the Ash Twin project. With the protective shell built, sure to seal all entrances using its construction. After shall help instruct the barrier from the outside for the final safety check. Yeah, so it's completely sealed. We either have to break it somehow or we have to teleport in. Can I offer an extra set of eyes for this final check? If my work here is complete, I'd be delighted to help. The smallest opening in the shell that protects the core could lead to disaster. Okay, well that did update our ship log. I bet that was it. I bet that was the one thing we were missing down here. I just hadn't realized that you could get text out of those. Okay. I remember the first time we were here, feeling like this area had a real, like, sort of an ominous feeling to it. I am no longer concerned at all here. We have seen stuff that is so much scarier. The way the light moves around in here is kind of weird, though. Alright, well, I guess let's just use one of the geysers to get out. You know, I was misremembering. I thought one of those geysers were going to shoot us out to the surface. Which would be very helpful, because, like, that's where my ship is. Alright, we can just go out the way we came in. Okay, so I'm going to go and check the rumor computer now. My guess is that this is no longer going to have the asterisk. It's probably just that tiny bit of text, which is a shame, because that's not really that helpful. I guess it confirmed my suspicion that we probably have to teleport in. Yeah, there used to be entrances, but they were completely sealed. Okay, I mean, that's totally consistent with the design of the Ash Twin project, right? That we would have to teleport into it. So, I guess our major... Oh, you know what? We still haven't figured out the mystery of the Quantum Grove, which might be a piece of information that is relevant for figuring out how to get where we need to go on the Quantum Moon. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go to the Ash Twin project and have a look around here. Unfortunately, this is probably going to mean that we have to spend some time sitting waiting for sand to drain. Or I guess if I'm teleporting in, probably not. I keep thinking like I'm going to, even though I'm talking about us finding a way to teleport into it, I keep talking like we're going to just find a crack in the ore. Okay. A really hard time getting a good... There we go. That vector is finally beginning to decrease. really, really hard time getting a good approach vector here. Okay. There we go. That should work. I do still wish that we knew a little bit more about the sun station. Like, we know that they were investigating the idea of detonating the sun, causing it to go rapidly supernova. But we don't really know what the mechanism of that was, do we? I guess maybe we're never going to find out. It might not actually be relevant. But if we knew that... Like, the thing that jumps out to me most about what we learned in the high energy lab is that you can change the amount of time that the teleportation technology sends you back in time. And so my first thought of how we're going to want to use that is that we could use it to, if we could overpower the Ash Twin project, we could get it to send us back more than 22 minutes, and then we could prevent whatever it is that's causing the supernova to happen, which, I mean, like, my working theory here is still that some kind of power surge related to the activation of the Ash Twin project or the firing of the probe cannon or something caused the sun station to do the thing that they were thinking of having it do, because otherwise, why in the hell is the sun going supernova in such an absurd and unnatural way? Okay, so let's talk this through. We know where this goes. You know, actually, it might have been a good idea to spend a little bit more time looking at the map in the high energy lab. Because I kind of just disregarded it. I was like, well, you know what? We know what all the teleport towers do now. So we still don't know what this one does. Because it doesn't, like, it... I guess I don't actually understand the teleport mechanism necessarily. Is the targeting glass actually... Oh, hold on, I don't actually want to teleport here. Where does this one take us to again? Hold on, let's go get that. Let's go get that scroll. Yeah, I don't actually know which parts of the teleportation module are necessary and which parts are aesthetic. Like the glass that sort of looks like a crosshair. Is that part of the thing, or is that, did they just build it that way because they thought it looked neat? Will the fact that there's not glass over this tower prevent this tower from working? Did we use this before, basically, is my question, because I don't remember. I'll tell you, an hour a day spread over a couple of weeks is definitely not the optimal way to play a game like this. Okay. Planning the Ash Twin project at the High Energy Lab. Yeah, we know that. I became lost on Ember Twin, but the High Energy Lab is the building with the solar panels. Okay, so this... So far, every tower that has had text in it talking about another celestial body has teleported you to that celestial body. So this is the one that takes us to Ember Twin, right? Hold on, I'm actually gonna take this. Let me verify. Let's verify experimentally that this is in fact the one that takes you to Ember Twin. Because if it is, then that makes me wonder if the teleporter across the way there, across the bridge, is in fact the way we're supposed to get into the Ash Twin project. Because these two towers being linked by a connector, right? Like, there's some obvious design symmetry there. It is weird how this thing is placed. It kind of seems like... Okay. Yeah, it's interesting that this one doesn't actually... Here, we can just use this to go right back, right? I had been thinking that they had to actually point at the receiver pad, right? Because that's the way the one on the sun station works and stuff. But I guess not, because this definitely just points at the center, that central ring on Ember Twin, which is not where the pad is. It's near there, but it's not actually in the center ring. I guess we're offset by a little bit. Yeah, okay. It probably did point directly at it. So then, I guess with this one we would look down, right? It's this is the lesson that we were supposed to learn from the teleporter that takes you to the Black Hole Forge, is that you don't actually have to look up to operate the things. But I still need to be looking through... Hold on, can we get on the other side of this surface? Once the sand has... You know what, once the sand is drained enough, maybe we can. Some of the towers have a way in underneath them, right? I'm just thinking, like... We have no way of targeting. But maybe like I'm saying, the glass is an aesthetic concern and not actually necessary for the operation of the thing. Maybe if I just stood on top of this and pointed down for long enough, it would take us through? Possible. I think, like, the way these work... They have to be... The entrance portal has to be aligned with the exit portal. But it shouldn't be the case that there's ever a change of alignment here, because if this was a teleporter that leads to the Ash Twin project, then the entrance portal and the exit portal are on the same body. So they are either always aligned or never aligned, right? Huh. So how would this even work, then? Maybe we can figure out a way to rotate... Oh, what? Ah, that's inconvenient. Well, I guess we're going to Ember Twin. That's not really what I wanted to do here. Okay, we'll just have to jump back over. That's probably not a big deal, although I'm going to wait until the star is no longer aligned. Actually, it is kind of a big deal. Yeah, maybe there's a way... Maybe there were some controls in the High Energy Lab or something that would allow us to rotate... Well, the High Energy Lab's not actually connected to Ember Twin, or to Ash Twin. We're totally just going to end up in space if I try to do this, right? Huh. I thought my ship... Is my ship on Ember Twin? I thought I parked it on Ash Twin far enough away from the ring that it wouldn't get swept over, but I guess not. Well, it's a good thing that I didn't do a good job of the thing I was trying to do then. Oh, you know what? What we saw in the, we saw via the projection stone that it is rotating in there, right? Like, there's definitely some spinning happening. Yeah, maybe we do just have to, like, we have to figure out some way of knowing when the alignment is correct. Or we could just go over there and stand there and wait. The downside of that, obviously, being that if it is an alignment issue, we'll never quite know. And the other downside being that it is boring. It is boring to watch, and I am trying to produce an internet entertainment product. I am intentionally this time leaving the ship in the path of the sand thing so that if we get sucked over again, it will be there for us. Because we do know that the Nomai built the towers to have some kind of like aesthetic similarities, right, with the places they go. The tower that leads you to Timberhearth is the one that's all like lush and green on the inside, and actually as we're yeah, so this other teleportation tower that is linked by a bridge to the teleportation panel that takes you to Ember Twin. It feels right. Okay, we're just gonna try to dodge this thing. It feels like I'm onto something here. I am pleased with the logic, but we don't have any way of knowing when this is properly aligned. Okay, what we saw from the inside of the Ash Twin Project chamber is that it was spinning. But it was spinning pretty rapidly, wasn't it? If it aligns at all, well, okay, we don't know that it's spinning along just one axis, though. It might be the case that it's the alignments are pretty rare, even if it is doing full rotations pretty frequently, because while it's rotating along one axis, it's also moving slowly along the other axis. I'm not describing this appropriately, but The fact that we just missed the sand spout thing makes me think that it would be a good idea for us to just stand here until the sand spout returns, because then we will have completed one full rotation of the planet. Except for the moment when the sand spout arrives, I guess. Hey, that's weird. That's a weird thing that the audio is doing. Might just be my headphones, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like, this does feel like blind hope here. It doesn't really feel like I have a strategy. But we're just gonna stare at this for a minute. I want to look around and figure out where the sunspout is relative to our current position, but I'm terrified that the moment I look away will be the moment it aligns. I will know when the sunspout has actually, or we'll know when the sandspout has actually arrived, because it'll start sucking us up. And when it does that, I'm going to jet downward as hard as I can, because in order to actually complete a full rotation, we would have to stay on this platform through the sandspout. I don't know if that's a thing that's actually going to be possible, because it pulled us up pretty hard. Well, here it comes. And I guess I may as well start the jets now. There's no reason to wait. And then I'll fire the boosters. Oh, the boosters don't work in this direction, though. Darn it. Inconvenient. You know what? It's also possible, I guess, that maybe you can't enter the Ash Twin project until... Ow. Until the sand is off of Ash Twin. We don't know for sure, I guess, whether or not the sand would block the teleporter. Have we read any Nomai text to that effect? I don't think we have. But there isn't any other place in the universe where, or in the solar system, where that is even a thing we could test, right? And we have, to figure things out on Ash Twin and Ember Twin, had to wait for sand a lot lately. So I guess let's go try it. Oh, that's a bad moment to be trying to do liftoff. There we go. Yeah, there is some... Man, I hate being this close to that giant star. There is some amount of time after all of the sand is removed from Ash Twin before the detonation, isn't there? Maybe we just have to wait on that? It feels a little bit bad. Okay, so if I'm trying to wait out the sand, we do not want to park the ship actually in the path of the sand spout. We want the ship to remain on this rock. Okay. How close are we to no sand? Like, can we see any of the actual core yet? No. Okay, well that's my working theory for right now, is that we have to wait until the actual timber hearth or core of the planet is revealed. It really does make you wait an awfully long time, though. That feels like it might be the wrong answer, just in terms of it being like pretty clumsy, given our lack of time control and everything. Let's get up on one of the bridges, or on the bridge, the massive bridge. I mean, it is pretty obviously getting thinner and weaker. Oh, I think that is in fact the last of the sand that we just saw go up. So now let's go stand on that thing and stare down until the sun explodes, I guess? It's so hard to know if this is the right thing. And we don't have a ton of time left. I'm looking over at the recording time and I see it's 24 minutes, and I know that we spent some time looking at the computer. Wait, I think we're getting the wrap it up music. Or... there's definitely some sound playing. Yeah, okay. We are, in fact, getting the wrap it up music, so I guess we can just stand here until the sun explodes. It's no big deal. In theory, the Ash Twin project should be the safest place in the solar system at that moment, right? Because if the supernova was sufficient to destroy the memory statues, then the whole thing wouldn't work, right? So probably they're the last things that get destroyed. They went out of their way to build it really, really tough. Yeah, alright, I'm becoming pretty disenchanted with this idea. You know what? Maybe we're supposed to access the high energy lab and use... Because now we have access to these things that the teleporters are using to get around. Maybe we have to use it to build the teleportation device that's going to allow us to get into the Ash Twin project. Maybe, like... No, but again, like, they can only teleport you to places where you can put down one of the devices. So in order to do a black hole, white hole move to the Ash Twin project, we'd have to be able to get into the Ash Twin project first. Yep, and here goes the sun. Okay, so... this is definitely not right. You have to be standing on one of the cores, and you have to look at the other core. That's how it actually works, right? The targeting glass is aesthetic. It just gives you an idea. It's just telling you where to look. But it's not actually a part of the mechanism, probably. But every one of these has worked by having us be standing on one of the cores while looking at the other core. And we know that it doesn't have to be up, because we did have to look down to teleport to the Black Hole Forge. And while the Black Hole Forge itself didn't turn out to be useful, the fact that we had to look down to teleport to it probably is trying to teach us the lesson that we don't have to be looking up. We just have to be looking in the right direction. And they built most of these things so that up is the right direction. Yeah, I'm really unsure. I think we're right. I think I'm right about that teleportation tower being important, but I'm really unsure how we would use it. Maybe we should go back to the high energy lab. Unfortunately, that's something that requires another bit of sitting and waiting. Well, let's land on Ember Twin, get to that chamber, I guess, and we'll start there. The only moment where we weren't in the correct position on Ash Twin, looking down, and I can't verify whether or not the planet did a whole rotation after all the sand ran out or not. But the only moment was while the sand spout was over that part of the tower, and the immediately after. So, in order to be certain that the tower is not set up correctly right now to teleport, that we would have to do something to make it work, we need to figure out a way of being present in the tower, looking in the appropriate direction at that moment. Although I guess we don't actually even know what the appropriate direction is. Maybe it's not a direct path. Because if it takes you directly into the Ash Twin project, the Ash Twin project is in the core of Ash Twin, right? We know that that's where the big chamber made of the ore they took from Timberhearth is. But maybe we're not supposed to teleport from the tower directly into the Ash Twin project. Maybe there's an intermediary step. And the problem is that I was not, in fact, looking in the correct direction in the first place there. Well, hopefully that warp map in the high energy lab will fill us in a little bit. We did look at it, right? I don't think that it told us anything new. We actually don't know what the process is for aligning a black core and a white core to work together either. Like, we know that the two we plugged into the high energy lab console worked together, but that's because there's a whole bunch of infrastructure there already. And there's definitely some text about working out the alignments. Now we just sit here and wait. There's definitely some text somewhere about working out the alignments, right? We read about how there were 6 cores and 5 alignments, and at the time, I thought they were talking about... Am I actually getting buried here? What's going on with my... Huh. That's a weird visual thing that's happening there. At the time, I thought they were talking about there being 5 alignments to make for the Ash Twin project, and then there's a 6th core because that's the one they used at Whitehall Station to build the teleporter back to Brittle Hollow. But it's totally possible that the 6th core is the one that takes you to Ash Twin. I guess... How many... We know the time doesn't stop when we're looking at the map because we can see the interloper still moving, right? So from Ash Twin, there's a teleporter to Giant's Deep, Timberhearth, Brittle Hollow. Is that it? So that's 1, 2, 3. And then also there's the teleporter from Brittle Hollow to Whitehall Station. There's a teleporter from Ash Twin to Ember Twin as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, yeah, the 5 alignments includes Whitehall Station. So the 6th core is this other one that's on Ash Twin. We just have to figure out how to make it actually work. Okay, I'm hopeful. A lot of the problem we've had so far, and a problem is too strong of a word, but for a lot of the game, it has been the case that we didn't really know what the puzzle was, even. We've just been looking around and discovering fascinating information, which is fine. I'm not complaining, but this is the first time that the first time in a while that I feel like we've had a good sense of purpose. Like this, I think we've figured out what we need to do, and now it's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. I do really enjoy the sort of open exploration part of it, but I also want to solve a puzzle. So how do we operate the last tower on the Ash Twin? And if I'd been a little bit more methodical about operating the towers on Ash Twin, like actually making note of where they all go and firing them in order and stuff, I probably could have figured out that this is what we needed to be working on a couple of episodes ago. I can't jump I can't jump at all while I'm in the spout. I really do just have to wait for this. I mean, the fact that you have to stand here in this tunnel and wait for such a long time does, I think, sort of imply that... I got a little impatient there. Does sort of imply that you're not supposed to go into the high energy lab very often. Like, this isn't a thing you should need to do multiple times because it's such a pain to do. I mean, not a pain, but it's so tedious to do. This is not the right way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I figured it out. Yeah, because so far nothing in the game has been, like, actually difficult. Or rather, there have been things in the game that seemed like they were difficult, but it always has turned out that it was, in fact, just the wrong way to do the thing. Like the cactus hallway on the Ash Twin. It's not one of those games where they're trying to test your dexterity. They don't mind making you wait. Okay, so let's go look at that map. I will say, it feels a little crummy of them to put the teleport symbol on the wall here. Wait. What I was about to say is it feels a little crummy of them to put the teleport symbol on the wall here if they're not going to, if this isn't actually a teleporter. Because you can totally see that with the scout. But maybe that actually is a teleporter? Hold on, is there a receptacle in the middle of that for a core? Did I plug a thing in there? No, it doesn't look like it would actually hold something. Hold on, let's find out. Am I allowed to plug a thing in? Actually, very difficult. No, okay. Yeah, I don't know, that just seems kind of crummy for them to put that there. Because that was a little misleading, right? I was thinking for a little while that we had to teleport in here because I don't know. Whatever. Okay, the warp map. Nope, this is not actually helpful at all. This doesn't give us any information. Yeah, I don't think this helps us at all. That's Sun Station. Ember Twin, yeah. Okay. Well, this was a waste of time. I'm gonna grab... Maybe it was a waste of time. Maybe we do actually still need one of these cores. I'm gonna grab one of the white hole cores. Because, you know, we have a black hole core that we aren't 100% certain has a mate yet. I still want to try actually being on the panel looking down, because I think down seems like it would be the right direction. I want to try actually being on the panel as close to after the sandspout goes by as possible, which would mean that we need to take cover over there. But we're going to take this with us just in case we have another idea. Yeah, if it's not the case that you have to look down, I can't imagine... Nope, I missed the platform. I was thrusting down as hard as I could there. Can't imagine what else the solution could be. It might be the case that you're not supposed to use that as a way of getting into the Ash Twin project, but rather as a way of getting out. Like, you have to carry a white hole core into the Ash Twin project via whatever other method is available, and then install it in there so that you can use a platform that's in there to actually get out via the tower. That's really the only other thing I could think of that would make sense. And unfortunately, if that's what's happening, then we are in dire straits as far as knowing what needs to be done, because I don't know what other method there could possibly be to access the Ash Twin project. It would have to be a teleporter that's somewhere else, right? It's the only thing I can think of. Okay, this would be a really great time to get out of the ship, actually. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little aggressive here. No. I was trying to get under the bridge. Get down. Is it gonna screw things up if I'm just holding this? Am I gonna... Okay. Alright. So this is my plan. We're gonna stand right here. The sandstorm is not, or the sandspout is not going to pull us up because we have cover. And once it gets overhead, we'll just run in there and look down, and I don't know. It's gonna pull me up though. Maybe we have to wait until it passes. Probably we have to wait until it passes, and then we run in as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, that means we do just have to wait for a full revolution. We got here at literally the worst possible moment. So I'm just gonna stand here holding this warp core. I hope that... Do we actually know what happened to this Nomai? I don't think we do, right? Most of the Nomai were killed by... Most of the Nomai that are on planets were killed by ghost matter. It seems like. The explosion of ghost matter after whatever it is that happened in the interloper happened. But there's no ghost matter around here, so I don't have any idea what happened to this guy. It sounds like it's getting closer. Maybe that's just the wind. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. So we just... That was weird. For a second there, it looked like the interloper was landing. It took my brain a second to parse what I was seeing. Okay, so we'll just wait for the sandspout to go past, and then we'll run in there, and we'll know pretty quickly whether or not that's going to work, because we have been on the surface within a couple seconds of the sandspout passing. We just need to clip as much time as possible. This at least feels like a thing that could be the case. It's just really hard to get the right alignment because of the sandspout timing. Actually, it looks like it's not even... Aha! Yeah, there's like there's an eye in the sandspout. Holy shit. Well, this is by a large margin the most momentous thing that has ever happened to us. That's not true. I destroyed the entire universe. That was pretty momentous. Okay, well, let's do the thing, I guess. Gravity is about Timberhearth. This is wild, man. This is a hell of an undertaking. Alright, 13 minutes, 21 seconds ago, received data from previous cycles. Okay, so that's exactly how far into the loop we are. Mask receiving data from probe tracking module, Giant's Deep memory statue, Timberhearth memory statue. So the Giant's Deep memory statue is Gabbro. The probe tracking module statue, and we have no idea who that was. We saw a statue in this is the probe cannon module, right? On Giant's Deep. We don't know who activated this. All we know is that they were not there anymore by the time we got there. 9 minutes until end of cycle transmission. Okay, we have 9 minutes. I don't suppose there's any way to operate this thing to see through the eyes of whoever it's linked to. Doesn't seem like it. I am kind of slowly sliding to my right. I'm not sure what that's about. The gravity in here is pretty wild. So, warp core does not fit in slot. Fair enough. Can we plug the warp core into the eyes? Nope. Just sits on top of the thing. I don't know what that would possibly have accomplished. Today we finished the excavation of the Ash Twin. Here, in this space we carved, we will craft our most ambitious project yet. The Ash Twin Project. Powerful enough to send information back in time. We've also finished relocating all subterranean plants we met while digging. Well, that was nice of them. We'll need to keep our eyes on how significantly we've altered the environment here. One thing I really appreciate about the Nomai is how much they are dedicated to keeping the environment of the places they're going to intact enough for the things that are living there to keep living there. Although obviously they made some exceptions here for building the Ash Twin project, but at least we know they were concerned about those exceptions. How far we've come since our experiments at the High Energy Lab. I can still hardly believe Raimi's hypothesis was true. Yeah, it is kind of wild, huh? Hope just sent the warp core for the final tower to us from the Black Hole Forge. Now Ash Twin can be connected with Giant's Deep, where Cassava is working with Avens to craft the orbital probe cannon, and where Phlox is crafting the memory statues. Hypothesis. It was not by accident the core of our warp tower was the last to be forged. The cores could have been forged faster if Cassava had... I don't know why the music is crescendoing right now, but it could be a little bit quieter. The cores could have been forged faster if Cassava had interrupted my work less frequently to ask for updates. The important point is we are all connected through the Ash Twin now, and also that I'm no longer needed for mediating your disagreements. There's a lot of writing here. There's also actually quite a number of projection stones. Alright, I think we can put this down for the moment. Let's finish reading and then we'll mess with those. Our friends on Giant's Deep tested the orbital probe cannon today. Mallow tells me the cannon is doing well, and that Avens advocates for more launch power. If anyone can coax the maximum power from a device, Avens can. But then, if anyone can goad a device into exploding, that too is likely Avens. Perhaps I should check in with the orbital probe cannon crew in the interest of safety. Would it help to remind Avens that Mallow, his love, will be one of the Nomai aboard the cannon, or is Mallow part of the problem? I think a little bit of both, probably. Phlox and Daz finished the memory statues today, and they are truly remarkable. When the Ash Twin project succeeds, or in the event it fails, the memory statues will activate, allowing us to gather more data before we shut down the project. Pi and Idea have worked hard on the Sun Station, and at last it at last is complete. That's an odd way of writing that. If everything goes as planned, this structure will prompt the Sun's explosion, which will in turn supply the power the Ash Twin project requires. Right. So we know that that's what happened. The Sun Station overloads the Sun to create the power necessary to cause the 22-minute delay. Because we know that a solar tower worth of power is only enough to send information or objects back like a couple of seconds. And we know that from experimental verification. It is nice to have been able to play with the mechanism ourselves a little bit. I'm impressed by their mental fortitude. This was the project's most difficult task in more ways than one. But I'm trying to remember what the text on the Sun Station actually said. It said that they couldn't figure out a way to make it work, right? So they must have eventually devised... I mean, we must be powered by something else in addition to the 2 solar panels, right? We're nearly ready to activate the Ash Twin Project. Here's what will happen. First, the Sun Station will receive the order to fire at the Sun, prompting it to explode. And then, using the energy from the resulting supernova, the Ash Twin Project will send the order for the orbital probe cannon to fire back in time by 22 minutes. Exactly 22 minutes after these orders are received, the Sun Station will again trigger the supernova to send the probe data from the cannon launch back in time. Okay. In total, each cycle created by the Ash Twin Project will last precisely 22 minutes. We can end this cycle at will, and we know that the cycle ran 9,000 times before they found the coordinates of the eye, and we know that it kept running after that. We don't know exactly how many more times. Right? I think. These words are difficult to write. The Sun Station did not work. Suppose we redesign the Sun Station. To generate power of that magnitude, a supernova is still our only viable option. I believe we could still find a way to create a supernova, my friend. Don't lose hope. This is easier expressed than accomplished. We can wait for the Sun to explode on its natural timeline, if you prefer, idea, but you'll need to find some way to halt our aging process. However, this is the closest we have ever been. The Ash Twin Project is theoretically sound. We were only unable to power it. Perhaps there is another way. But something is still causing our sun to supernova in a very unnatural way, because the process of it growing into a red giant and then collapsing on itself should take millions of years. The fact that even if the Sun Station never actually was able to do the thing, something is causing our sun to go supernova in a really strange way. We're halting our research into creating a supernova for the moment. A comet has newly arrived, and we're anxious to explore it. Okay, so this gives us a timeline for when they discovered the comet. Because we know that something happened inside the interloper that caused the big chunk of ghost rock to fracture and then send shards of it all over the galaxy. But we still, I think, don't know what that event is, right? It's been a very long time since we last explored somewhere new, so we're excited to welcome this comet. Imagine what knowledge might be gained there. Yeah, I think we still don't know what it is, what the event was that caused the comet to fracture. Pretty sure. Alright, let's read these. These are going to be the other end of conversations we've already read, though, right? Ash Twin Project is almost prepared to receive the probe data. Are you in the orbital cannon well? We are. Probe tracking module is ready to record the launch's flight trajectory. Yeah, worried about structural integrity and moral integrity. So yeah, these are just the other side of... We've read all of these conversations at this point, I think. Right, this will be the one that we just read in the mine. Yep, okay. So we have seen all of that. Okay, what is this? Artificial gravity control. Artificial gravity on. That seems good. I think we want that on. There's not a there's really not a piece of writing that tells me what this does. Maybe this operates whatever their other power mechanism was. We're about to access the core while the Ash Twin Project is active. Removing the core will disable the Ash Twin Project. Oh, this opens the core. That seems real dangerous. We're pretty late in the cycle, aren't we? If I unplug this... Oh, okay. If I unplug this and then the sun goes supernova before we do it, whatever it is we need to do with it... Oh, hey, look at that. That totally is how the warp core... This is a functional warp core. Okay, well now I've done it. We need to get... I'm gonna plug this back in. I can't. I literally can't plug it back in. Uh-oh. Oh no, okay. Insert the core. Yeah, if we unplug that and then the sun goes supernova, we, like, die, right? I don't know what that will mean. Like, the game's not gonna delete... Well, hold on. I was about to say the game's not going to delete our save. We don't really have a save. There's almost no state information in the game, right? I'm going to take this, and we're just going to try to fly to... How do I... Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take this, and we're just going to try to fly to Dark Bramble as quickly as possible. Okay. Huh. Oh, I was looking down when I... Damn it. I was looking at the surface when we went through, so it just immediately teleported me out again. Let's be looking in a different direction. Okay, we don't have like a huge amount of time. Where's my ship? In fact, we just started getting the Wrap It Up music. Okay, well I guess we're going to find out what happens when the Ash Twin project isn't active and you die. It can't really do much more than just send you back to the main menu, right? Trying really hard to get... There we go. It's okay, we know what we need to do, we just need to do it a little faster. This is a big deal. This is a big moment. We never did figure out the quantum moon. We're not done. But this is going to be important. And we could just jump back to the main menu now and restart the loop that way, but I actually really want to see what it says when this happens. Because there's got to be a slightly different ending, right? We're not going to have the memory statue thing happen. I guess it might just kick us back to the menu. That might be all that occurs. It does seem like the music is different, doesn't it? Maybe it's not actually the Wrap It Up music? Hold on a second. We're just going to hover right here for a moment. Yeah, this might just be the track that plays when you have the warp core. It'll only be a couple more, if it is indeed the warning, playing when the warning usually plays, it should only be a couple more seconds before we see the sun collapse. The Dark Bramble is like desperately trying to pull me in right now. Yeah, it's not actually exploding. Okay. I mean, it's still going to soon. We're definitely close to the end of the loop. But I guess let's see if we can get to the vessel. We might be able to make it. Alright, it's been a minute since we have done this. I think I remember that we determined that this is the best way to go. So we have to get to the red knot. But I think I'm remembering that the red knot has a fish right by it or something. Again, it's like the downside of playing short periods of time infrequently. Yeah, okay, this is a knot. I am not flying directly into a fish. So I think the way I was doing it was I was going through here and then going from here to the red knot. I also think I just heard a fish. I think I may have angered a fish, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Oh, you know what we have to do, actually? We have to find the stress beacon. That's right. I'm getting all discombobulated here, not remembering what needs to be done. Weird that I'm not getting any distress beacon reading at all. Hold on, can we get back out? I can't even find the hole in the wall that we came through. I mean, there must have been a hole in the wall where we came in. But maybe I'm going crazy. Okay, now I hear the supernova coming. That's right. We have to get in. We have to go to where the crew from the escape pod tracked the signal, fire a scout through that bramble. There's actually kind of a lot that we have to do in order to install this warp core in the vessel. But I kind of thought the supernova would be here by now. Oh, here it comes. So what happens? It's certainly not going to play the memory statues back. We're dead. Yes, that's true. We did die. The good news is, now that we know what we have to do to get into the Ash Twin project, we should be able to do it. Don't you play the credits at me. Now that we know what we have to do to get into the Ash Twin project, we should be able to do it pretty quickly. Although, I suppose, we're still going to have to wait for some of the sand to come off, because we have to wait for it to unearth the tower, right? I'm glad that they don't make you wait until the sand is off of the core. Alright, but we can do this. This is, this might not even be as much waiting as we were having to do when we were going to the Black Hole Forge. Yeah, that's actually pretty clever design. The Black Hole Forge thing being such an obvious thing that you need to get to, and once you know what the teleport receivers look like, it being so obvious how you have to do it. And then that having you, that teaching you that you don't have to look up to operate the teleporters, so that you can use that piece of information for this puzzle. That's a pretty clever way of relating that, without making it obvious that you're trying to relate a thing. Because the moment you make it clear that that's what the puzzle is, the player loses that organic sense of exploration, right? I think it's one of the most interesting things about puzzle games like this, or games that have environmental puzzles like this, I should say, is the idea that sometimes you have to give the player puzzle information without letting them realize that you're doing it, in order to not spoil the puzzle. So we pretty much just have to wait here. I mean, is there anything at all that we could be doing right now? We could be... I suppose we could be checking out the Quantum Grove. We still haven't figured out what the deal is with the Quantum Grove, but I don't want to, because I do not want to... We want to get the warp core and get out with the maximum amount of time remaining, right? So I guess probably what I'm going to do here is just cut the video. I'll do this waiting off camera, and I'll bring you guys back in when we're ready to go. Alright, here it comes. This is just about the earliest. You can see the floor is only just being revealed here. This is about the earliest we could possibly get this core. So I did a little bit of research while I was waiting for this to happen, because I realized that I wasn't actually certain how long it is supposed to take for a star, once it has burned out its hydrogen, to go into the red dwarf state and then fall into a supernova. I'm making some guesses at what's going on in the storyline based on the fact that I feel like what's happening here is unnatural, but I wanted to verify. So I went and did some research and verified. And yeah, it is supposed to take, like, once the process of it growing into a red giant has started, that's supposed to take millions and millions of years. It seems like, again, based on like 10 minutes of research here, scientists are theorizing that for our sun, it'll take about 500 million years. So, what is happening with the star here is like very unnatural. I know. Disable the safeguards. I know exactly what I'm doing, kind of, sort of. So yeah, something unnatural is happening here, and I'm very concerned about that, and I'm hoping that we are going to learn more. It seems like maybe the sun station is not at fault, but if it's not, then we really do still have to figure out what is and stop it. Right? The only way we're going to get ourselves out of the loop is to stop the sun from consuming the whole solar system. And is this related to all of the other stars dying? Are the other stars dying naturally, or are they also being kicked off by some other force? I mean, I have no idea. We're going to fly out to Dark Bramble. We're going to, hopefully, this time, actually teleport... first I had to find Dark Bramble, of course. We're actually going to teleport the ship to the coordinates that we discovered, but I have no idea where this goes from here. What our plan from that moment could even be. Where on Earth is Dark... Ah, there it is. I guess where on Earth is Dark Bramble is kind of a dumb version of that question. Okay, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, like, extremely nervous here. Yeah, once we teleport, I guess, so now that we have the Warp Core and the Ash Twin project is no longer functional, in-universe, we have to solve the problem right now, right? It's not a big deal for us playing the video game, because obviously we could just go back to the main menu. But the whole reason that this has worked the way it has diegetically so far, where these retro rockets they're not doing the thing at all. Let's say the velocity matching is actually just less effective than you can be by firing the rockets manually. But yeah, like the whole reason this has worked so far is that the Ash Twin project allows us to move information from one loop to the next. But basically my point is, we might be about to finish the game. It'd be pretty weird if, like, especially with all the stuff about the quantum moon and everything, if the game were to end before we manage to figure out what it is we're supposed to learn from the quantum moon. I kind of wonder if we're going to get to wherever it is that we're about to take this ship, and it's going to turn out... Oh, hold on. Actually, what we have to do here... I was about to fly into the Red Room, but we have to find the escape pod first, right? Okay, we gotta go... that way. Oh yeah, I wonder if we're about to take the ship wherever it is we're about to take the ship and find out that we can't do what needs to be done yet because we're missing some crucial piece of information. And if that's the case... I make sure I'm not getting near any other lights. If that's the case, it does sort of break the game a little bit. It breaks the narrative of the game a little bit, because we should not be able to carry... The person we're playing as, the character we're playing as, should not be able to carry the information over from what's happening now into the next loop, but I guess let's not think too hard about the weird narrative issue that causes. Okay, so we gotta find... We don't have to find the escape pod itself necessarily, but we do have to find the path of lights that leads from it. Okay, this is a little inconvenient here. These giant rocks are kind of in the way. I don't remember the layout of these chambers too well, so I'm a little worried that I'm going to accidentally upset a fish. Okay. This is where we're headed to, actually. Okay, so we just fire a scout through here. Velocity matching. Yeah, the velocity matching totally sometimes works a little bit. I think I bounced that. There we go. Kind of bounced that off of that Nomai's corpse, which is definitely disrespectful. Okay. So now, from here, it would just be super annoying if we got eaten by a big fish and I had to do that wait again. So let's try to do a good job on this. Hands off the controls. We'll just glide to where we are going. And then the scary part. Okay. Back up a little bit and try to give myself the maximum amount of run-up room, and then hands off the controls. Yeah, you really, you can't glide through this too much faster than we're doing it right now. And like I said, this time it would really suck to screw this up, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer than we have been waiting. We're going to get real close to the things in the middle of this chamber. It did not occur to me at all. It has since, obviously. But it did not occur to me at all that, while we were in here last time, that these might be anglerfish eggs. We can't say for sure that that's what they are. And they're certainly a lot harder than I would expect them to be, because we did crash the ship into them without affecting them at all. And given the way fish eggs usually work, that might be indicative of the fact that these are not in fact fish eggs. But it's certainly possible, at least. And definitely worrying and gross. It also means that anglerfish are not great parents, because you would think that they'd be very protective of the eggs, and at least they sort of are, in the sense that it's hard to get here safely. But you can just, once you've gotten here, you can just roll right up on the eggs, slam into them at high speeds, shoot stuff at them, and none of the fish seem to care at all. Okay, so there is some significant danger still left, because I know that there is a fish that hangs out near the bramble knot that we're going to have to use to get to the vessel. And it's just a real bad time to get eaten by a fish. It's never a good time, but most times are better than this one. I'm probably overdoing it a little bit on getting away from those fish before touching anything, but I'm just really nervous about screwing this up now. Okay, I think I'm going to push. Yeah, alright, we don't hear any angry fish sounds. That's a good sign. Okay, so we just have to be cautious. I'm pretty sure... I'm like 60% sure. Oh, that guy's right there. That's the thing. What I was gonna say, though, is that the fish that's near the knot is in that direction, and the reason we can't see him right now is because of that bramble there being in the way. So let's try to get over here a little bit. Yeah, just very nervous. Very nervous. And all the... Sounds like one's pretty close to us, actually. I'm a little worried that I maybe have done this badly. Yeah, there's one right there, in fact. We're just gonna try to keep this bramble. Okay. He's angry, but he's on the other side of the bramble. It's not a big deal. Here's a problem, though. We have to get over there without giving him... He's right near us. You know what? I think we're okay. I think if we just go fast, we'll be fine. I don't think he has a good path to us. Okay, and I'm pretty sure there are no fish in this chamber. Whew. Alright, we have worked for this. I really have no idea what's about to happen. Let's take one last look. Oh, I feel super bad about that. You know what? I'm sure they'll forgive me. We're going to take one last look at the symbols. Allen wrench, rune thing, sideways. Okay, I got it. Yeah, this is gonna be really something. We don't actually know for sure that the Eye of the Universe is a place that we can survive, right? Like, we have no reason to think that it is. And I have no idea at all how my warp technology works. Oh wow, that turned the whole... like, the gravity's back on and everything. Okay. What does the marble do when we slide it this way now? Oh, okay. So we need to program in the coordinates first, and then sliding it over there is going to give us the black hole that we need to go to the place we need to go to, I guess? Hit this and that. This is definitely easier to do with the gravity on. Wait, have I done... yeah, I did that right. I'm like 60% sure I did that right. Okay. Well, we've taken the whole ship somewhere, certainly. Yeah, that looks approximately like the thing. Well... Ooh, hold on. There's like a little area down here that I didn't realize was down here earlier. with a Know My recorder in it. I'm recording now. I've never encountered anything like this. The signal the vessel is receiving appears to be older than the universe itself. This is our first contact with anything of this nature. Everyone prepare to warp immediately. Escal, wait. I need more time to send an outgoing message. Hey, shouldn't we tell another clan where we're going? We can send the message upon our arrival. This extraordinary signal appeared suddenly. It may disappear just as quickly, and we can't lose a discovery this incredible. Focus on preparing for the warp instead. Anana, is the vessel ready to warp to the signal's approximate coordinates? Warp core is powered, but this will be a significant jump. Afterward, we'll need time to recharge the core. That shouldn't create a problem, provided we arrive at or near the signal's source. Everyone, we're ready to warp. Okay, so when we roll the power marble here into the other position, it's going to create a black hole that I assume we can use to teleport outside the ship? But I don't have any idea what to do here. Okay, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. Obviously, we're just going to have the same text on the walls up here. I'm just nervous is all. I mean, I guess let's go through the thing? Okay, well there's the vessel, and we're now on the surface of the eye of the universe. Okay, we're not that far. That's Whitehall Station, probably, right? In theory, the quantum moon might be around here sometimes. And the whole of the eye of the universe is made out of the quantum stone. Which I had sort of thought was the case, but I don't think it helps us in any way here. I don't think this is useful information. It's certainly interesting. Why is it lit the way it is? What is happening? Also, we're getting some kind of weird audio. I think we're getting closer to whatever's making that noise. There's a big storm over there. That might be what it is. I'm very nervous right now. Boy, that just really looks like... I don't know what that looks like. It looks like a thing I shouldn't touch, though. But I don't see much else to do here. Okay, if I step into that, I die, right? One has to assume. Whoa. Right, of course. Quantum. Got myself good in panic there. Hey, that was a tree. Wait a minute. Why are there... Those are like Hearthian trees, right? Oh, this seems very dangerous. That's really cool, though, that the lightning storm causes us to gain and lose sight of stuff, so that all the quantum stuff is jumping around in our vision. That's a really neat effect. It does seem like I could get struck by lightning here, and also it's just extremely creepy. Okay, well, maybe that's where we're headed? What in the hell am I seeing? I mean, that certainly looks very significant. I don't know what it is, though. You know, it would be super helpful if there could just be, like, a person here to help explain this to me. Like, I don't know who, maybe this place could have, like, a guardian. The Red Skull could come out and tell me what's up. Okay, I'm gonna drop down into the crater, I guess? Oh, you know what I should do? I'm gonna fire my scout launcher up into the vortex. That could potentially result in the permanent loss of the scout, I guess. Because who knows what's going on here, but I can't think of any safer way to see what's going on. Okay, the scout connection with scout is lost. I cannot pull the scout back. It did, in fact, result in a permanent loss of scout. Oh, okay. That's weird. We're just sticking to the surface. Hey, look at these. It's like... I guess a lot of the quantum surfaces have this, but just the smoothness of the scoops here is really weird. It almost seems like the Nomai mining technology, right? Because the surface of the boring holes in the Nomai mines on Timberhearth is also pretty smooth, if I remember correctly. Okay, well... Oh, the gravity's way too high. I was gonna say, I guess the only thing left to do is to shoot ourselves up into that. But in fact, I cannot do that. Okay, what if we go down to directly underneath it? I'm just, like, curious if anything's going to happen here. Nope. Turn off the flashlight. I'm wondering if I could, like... I could make it so that we can't see much of our surroundings. If maybe the problem is the eye of the universe has to quantum warp to a different location for us to interact with it in the way we need to. But it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You know, it may very well be the case that we just don't have whatever information it is that we need to do whatever it is that we need to do here. I was trying to see if we could, like, stick to the sides of these surfaces the way we stick to the side of that crater, but no such luck. So I was wondering if we could maybe, like, walk up to get close enough to that and then stick up onto there, and... Yeah, I think we probably still just have some mysteries left to uncover. Well, let's walk around here in this place that we've spent so much time trying to get to for a minute longer before we give up. It's super weird that there are trees here, huh? Is it just like randomly grabbing small pieces of Timberhearth? Oh, wow. Okay, I did almost get struck by lightning there. Some of the pieces of quantum rock that are getting thrown in front of us by the lightning definitely, like, they look like ships and stuff. I think it is just quantum rock, and I'm experiencing some pareidolia, but they definitely look weird. Alright, so finding our way back outside the storm wall. Gravity is too high for us to move around safely, or to move around with our jetpack. The quantum moon is an important part of whatever's happening here. We just don't have the, Can I equip my signal scope? Just out of curiosity. I mean, yeah, I know that's the quantum moon, but I'm wondering if we could maybe... Okay, I'm getting some kind of unknown reading. Yeah, maybe let's just try to follow this. I kind of forgot about my signal scope. And we know that this is just what the shards sound like. Maybe this is taking us to a particular shard of some import. If we could find a shard that is warping around that we could... That was creepy. That we could stand on. Oh, I think it's just pointing us toward the big storm. Pointing us toward the big hole in the sky. Yeah, if we could find an appropriate piece of rock to stand on and then just, like, let it warp us somewhere valuable, that might be the solution to the puzzle, but none of the stones we can actually stand on appear to be teleporting, right? Like, this little bit here, yeah, when we look away, it doesn't go anywhere. Well... I do not at all know what to make of this. I was wondering if we got right under it and then looked up into it, if it would, like, teleport us or something. Yeah, I'm wondering if we just don't have all the information we need due to not having figured out the mysteries of the Quantum Grove, and also... Oh, if I walk... I don't really love this. Yeah, if we walk up onto these raised bits like this, then we can maybe fall up into this thing? I'm gonna be honest with you. Every part of my body wants me not to do the thing I'm about to do. But I do this for you, the viewer. Okay, so we are definitely falling upward into the sky now. Into space, presumably? Oh, dear. Okay, am I supposed to not touch the... Oh. Huh. That... Okay, well, of all the things I expected to happen, this was not on the list. Basically, I thought I was going to die there. Hey there, Nomai statue. Does this still say what it usually... The Nomai never got to see it for themselves, but thanks to their efforts and technology, a Hearthian was able to reach the eye of the universe. So no, that is not what that has previously said. Okay. This is real creepy. Is that fish still in the thing? No, apparently we are here sometime later. Does this mean that they were feeding the fish? I guess they must have been to keep it alive. Although, again, I can't imagine that the fish that are actually inside Dark Bramble eat very much. Hold on, let's go check out the Quantum Grove. Oh. Okay, I was about to say, or maybe not. But yeah, it appears that we will not, in fact, be observing that bit of quantum rock out there. The Nomai who came to our solar system were following a signal from the eye of the universe. They perished when the interloper arrived, bringing with it the deadly substance we called ghost matter that flooded the entire solar system almost instantly and without warning. But not the entire solar system, because the Hearthian, like, our ancestors underground somehow managed to avoid it. Of all the life forms who will perish in the oncoming death of the universe, we will miss the anglerfish the least. That's 100% fair. At the end of its lifespan, our sun collapsed under its own gravity and then exploded in a violent supernova. See, that part, the actual exploding part, does happen pretty quickly. But the growing into a red giant part is supposed to happen a lot more slowly than has been depicted. I'm wondering if we're actually going to get an explanation for that at all. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, are Feldspar's notes still up here? Not Feldspar, Hornfels. Hornfels' observations. No, this is still the same text. Okay, well, I think it's pretty obvious that what we're supposed to do here is observe what things look like some unknown distance into the future. So this is a new observatory built on the eye of the universe, and it observes all of the stars going supernova. And we are aware of a whole hell of a lot more space than we used to be. Oh. That was basically that whole chunk of the universe just kind of fizzling out. I'm actually in this space now. We're not just looking at a map. This is extremely weird. Wait, those are trees. Huh. Yeah, this is extremely weird. Okay, well... what am I seeing here? I'm going to assume that we're not going to get any readings. I just really don't know what to make of this. Can we touch these? Okay, it seems like I should not touch them. Touching them causes them to wink out of existence, although... You know what? They're actually doing a fine job of that on their own. Yeah, see, this is the thing I have like a very deep and abiding terror about, the way that like everything in the universe is just going to sort of wink out of existence one day. I don't want to stand here and watch it happen. How do we stop it? I think probably that's what we're going to have to do, is wait here until it all winks out. Okay, well the good news is nothing could ever destroy my flashlight. So here's a nice big quantum rock. Can we climb inside of it, or... It doesn't go away when I stop looking at it. No, it totally does. Never mind. Huh. Okay. I was assuming that we were going to be looking for quantum fluctuations. Is there anything? No. Nothing on the quantum fluctuations channel. Okay, somebody's over here and it sounds like they are maybe running real low on O2. Oh! Hey there. Myself? Oh, I knew it. I was a tree all along. This makes perfect sense. I was about to wonder if we were running into a kind of an annihilation type situation. Do I have another signal? Nope, I just have this tree. All I have is this tree. Sorry, it's not this tree. I think it might be more than one tree. Yep. Definitely some stuff is changing. I guess let's do what the game wants us to do the rest of the way. Yeah, sure. Why not? Ooh. That's my own shadow. Scared the hell out of myself there. I guess we may as well... Oh. Christ, man. Where'd you come from? Esker. Do we know Esker? There are so many people in the village whose names I do not remember. You stay right there, Esker. Stop doing real creepy things. I'm gonna have a marshmallow real quick, because I believe I've earned it. Okay, well... What are you gonna do? How does this fire work? Is there air here? What is happening? Do you know what's happening? Do you hear music? No, I don't. I hear something. Huh. Okay, well, he didn't go anywhere. So I'm assuming... Yep. Oh, wow, it's, like, real dark. Okay, my flashlight was turned off. That's why. I was gonna say... Who had the guitar? I don't even remember at this point. It was Ryback, right? How do we get in here? Wait, for real, how do we... Yeah, he is in there. Maybe if I look away and then look back, it will have developed a door. Nope. Well, he's definitely not in there. Right, connection. I lost the scout. Right, I forgot. Well... That's a pretty good banjo. Are there any other signals to pick up? Nope. Wait, are those rocks or... Okay, yes, those are rocks. Those are not a skeleton. Maybe we go back to Esker and ask him what the hell? Don't have any signals in any other directions. Okay, nope, I'm supposed to do something with this banjo. Well, we don't seem to have a way of entering the building. Oh, no. Okay. We did, in fact, do exactly what we were supposed to do there. Well, I feel like I ought to take the banjo. Okay. Can I play it? I don't seem to have the ability to draw the banjo. Wield banjo. Wield ye banjo. No, nothing? Okay. Oh. Hey, you're okay. Maybe. It's not quite time yet. I'm pretty sure we'll need the others for this next part. We'll need, you know, everyone. No rush. Take your time. It might not even exist here. Yeah, I was about to say something similar to that when he said it's not time yet. Okay, so we're just gonna have to find everybody's instruments. The quiet shade. You don't say. Is this tree going to disappear if I look away from it? Nope. Cross old bark. So maybe we weren't supposed to figure out what was going on in the Quantum Grove after all. In the Ancient Glade, did you know it's always dark in the Ancient Glade? Okay, well, I guess we just rise up into the sky. This is like an extremely strange experience that I'm having right now. Alright, where's the next one? So this is what was meant by the Ancient Glade. Who wrote the poem on the tree? Like, I wonder if it's the case that no Hearthian is responsible for the writing on that tree. Oh, this is something. I can't actually use the telescope. Chert had a little telescope by him, didn't he? On, huh. Okay, this is weird. So the reading is from the telescope. If I try to move closer to the drum, we lose it. Can't touch this thing or interact with it in any way. I don't have a scout, but like that's his drum, right? I think that's his drum. How am I supposed to... What if I turn off my light, because it's supposed to always be dark? Well, that didn't have the effect it was supposed to have at all. Okay, why don't we do the drum last? Let's go get this harmonica. That's not great. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Or maybe it's not really going to be a persistent problem, I guess? You just have to get spooked by the fish once. Okay, let's go have a quick chat with the people at the fire and see if anybody wants to give me a little hint, a little push in the right direction here. My guess is no, we're just going to have to figure this out. Does your dialogue change any? Nope. Okay, hey Gabra, how you doing? Hey, time pal, so you're getting the band back together, huh? Apparently, to be honest with you, it wasn't exactly my choice. Go on, go find the others. I'll be here. You don't need me yet, but you will. Hatchling, you found me. Nice to have company around a campfire, isn't it? Go on, go get the others. Wouldn't want them to miss out. Yeah, well, it seems like Chert doesn't really want to hang out. That's my read of the situation. Maybe I need to get up on top of this thing. And for some reason, that will help. Maybe this is like a don't touch the ground kind of thing? Nope, that doesn't. Yeah, that didn't help at all. Huh. I wonder what it is I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, there's kind of a dream logic kind of thing going on. What does that mean? What kind of dream logic could we use to help us out with this? I can't move any of the objects in the little display here, any of these lights, by looking at them. They're not Nomai architecture. We can't approach or they fade out. Hold on. If I approach enough to get them to fade out, but not enough to get me to teleport away, and then I back up, they do fade back in, right? How do we use that to our advantage? Doesn't look like there's any kind of quantum nonsense going on here. Looking away from it doesn't help. Turning off the light didn't help. Flying up into the air for some reason also causes it to fade out. I'm not 100% clear on what that's about. I might be missing something really obvious here. This would be one of those things that you feel kind of silly about when you realize, my guess, but I just have no idea what it could possibly be. So we've already walked forward and through. This is, like, it has been the case a couple of times that I needed to just, like, give up and come back. Or, you know, do something that didn't seem like the right thing. Like, allow that anglerfish to eat me, for example. Okay, wow, I got deposited pretty hard that time. Seemed like we flew maybe all the way around the tiny planet that we're on. Okay. What if I just roasted another marshmallow, though? Let's see, these marshmallows seem to roast slower than the other ones. Maybe that's like a thin atmosphere thing. I just didn't even eat that marshmallow. I just put it back in the bag. That's somebody else's. You know what I'm doing here is community service. Okay, well, remarkably, that didn't help anything. You know, we've never had to use the zoom in function of this of the scope at all. Oh, we can just gather it. That's weird. Okay, well, I'm glad I figured it out at least. Seems pretty arbitrary, though. Hey there, Chert. How you doing, man? Have you calmed down any? Shall I begin? Hold on. Wait a second. Take your time. I don't think there's anything left to go supernova. Yeah, that seems to be my read of the situation as well. Can't wait to play with the whole group again. Can I start? You know what? Sure. You start. Okay. I won't let you down. I guess we tell everybody to start playing. So is this is a delusion that we're having as the force of whatever it is that we fell into is slowly dragging all of our atoms apart, right? I can't imagine what else this would be. Okay. I wish I had an instrument. Oh. What is happening here? Can I contribute? I'm gonna roast a marshmallow. This is the one thing I can do to help. And I've caught it on fire again. Well, what are you gonna do? Did that do it? Did I help? I don't think I had any effect. I'm just feeling a little bit left out is all. Okay, that's interesting. What are we seeing on the surface of this? Looks like anglerfish? Hey, you know, one thing that we didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about, but that maybe... Oh, is this the quantum moon? It looks like it, doesn't it? Well, I think they want me to touch it. But, before we touch it, One thing that I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about, I'm just now remembering that it seems very strange, is that when we destroyed the space-time continuum, we saw brambles superimposed on our vision, just like, not even brambles really, but like the empty shape of brambles. I wonder what that means. The implications of that are. Alright, let's... Nope, that didn't have any effect at all. I thought maybe once we like got inside of it... Oh! Okay. I thought maybe once we got inside of it we were going to be teleported onto the quantum moon, which is not exactly what has happened. Did we just create the universe, do you think? I have no idea what's happening. I was just thinking, you know, at that moment, all of the matter in the universe, all of the matter that was left, was all very close together. And then we did a thing, and there was a mighty energetic explosion. Really? Well, I'm thinking that that can't be the only ending, then, 'cause nothing, we didn't solve anything or figure anything out. I'm more lost than I was before, not less. I guess we need to... Maybe there was something else that we could have done on the Eye of the Universe, and I just lacked the information because we hadn't figured out the, But now we know the order of the lines in the poem. Yeah, okay, there's definitely still stuff for us to do. So we could go back to the Quantum Grove, we could try to find the position where the tree has the lines arranged in the order they were shown to us here in this Quantum Grove. I can't imagine what the outcome of that could possibly be, but at least that makes me feel better about the fact that I was never able to figure out what you're supposed to do with that tree. Apparently we were missing some, I don't know, information is maybe too strong of a word for what we have now, but we were missing a hint at least. Yeah, because like this is interesting as an ending, but it doesn't result in, first of all, me knowing anything, and secondly, me having saved anybody's life, like a big part of preventing the supernova, for me was keeping all of the Hearthians alive. So I think we're just a little bit away from the real ending, maybe. I think we also need to figure out what's going on with the Quantum Moon. We actually go up there and try to walk the tower north. So I had a thought about that as well, and I'm sure people are shouting at me in the comments. I've completely stopped reading the comments at this point because I know we're close, and I don't want some guy to totally ruin it for me by telling me straight up what to do. But I was thinking about the Quantum Moon a little bit, and on some of the versions of the Quantum Moon, we're able to get the tower further north, I think, than that impassable wall that is around some of them. So I'm wondering if we might be able to use the different versions of the Quantum Moon to like step the tower north one by one until we can actually get it to the North Pole. I don't know what it could possibly do. I don't know what the positive outcome of that could possibly be, but we'll figure it out. Basically, I'm just trying to, first of all, let all of these people have their credits time, because I do believe they have earned it, even if we have maybe not really earned the right to see the credits yet. But also, I'm curious if anything's going to happen at the end of this. I don't want to skip through it, because if there's another hint or something that is going to be bestowed upon us, I would like to have it. So yeah, they've been developing this game for a long time, right? I mentioned that I saw a pre-alpha trailer that was posted in 2012. I somehow never heard about it. Apparently there was a backer campaign that looks like on Fig rather than Kickstarter, but still, like, I guess I'm just not plugged in enough, man. I feel like this is the sort of thing I should know about. And I feel a little bit bad that I didn't back it, because this is so much the kind of project that I want to see more of. But hopefully I've at least helped sell a couple of copies. Alright, we should be reaching the end here. I know it's lacking a certain grandiosity, but I kind of preferred the Kazoo version. Okay, so is it just going to kick us back to the menu? Okay, no, there is something. Yeah, okay. Pretty much be and also that scout that we fired. Yeah, pretty much what I thought happened. Okay, well, I feel good about that because we did destroy the universe at one point. So now we've undone that. We've sort of gotten ourselves back to zero. We were responsible for the creation of everything, it seems like. Boy, it's super weird for I was responsible for the creation of the universe not to be the place where that story ends. But it turns out that despite all of our labor, we still have some things left to do. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching what turned out to be a much longer episode than I anticipated. Come back next time, tomorrow, for figuring out what else we could possibly do. I still would like to save everybody, you know, if we could. So we'll see you then.